Hello everyone out here on YouTube. This is Spoke777 here on YouTube. And today I'm going to talk about the Albigenses, which Bengali was saying how evil and dirty they are, and how could Elamites say that they had true faith? They were such and such and such, and here's the answer I have to say to that. Wikipedia says they had the Bible. Now, the fact that they had the Bible, that's how true faith was preserved. Did they all believe the things that he was pointing out? No. We're all Waldensians, Sabbath keepers. No. There was even some rumor I heard a while ago on TV that there was rumors that the Waldensians had one eye. Which is kind of weird. But they didn't. They were normal like us. Now, which means that could be just propaganda. But they did have the Bible. That's how faith was preserved. And that's my answer to what Bengali had to say. Now I'm going to switch gears to another subject. Oh, you thought I was going to do one subject? Two in one video. Because I'm going to talk a little bit about the American past. Starting with the line of demarcation for my notes. But people don't, well, at 1493. Yep, can you see? Alright, 1493, Papal Bulls of Demarcation by Alexander gave Columbus the authority to, well, enslave part of the area for sugar production. What? The Catholic Church is for slavery of peoples? Yep. Anyone who's not a Catholic. Oh, how can I just say that? Oh, wow. Oh, here's the picture on this book about the Indians working on sugar. Yep, working there. Papal Bulls of Demarcation gave Columbus the authority to enslave part of the area for sugar production of native people, which also led up to, oh, what did it lead up to? Oh, that's right! The Tears of the Indians. And the Protestants got to use that book, Bartholomew de las Casas, to further their cause, to show the cruelty of how the Catholics treated the natives. Here we go. You want me to read a little bit? Oh, guess who wrote this book? Guess who wrote this book? Oh, if you know, J. Perkins. History 151. A black guy. So if you don't like what he says, are you prejudiced? His name was Jason Perkins. And guess what? If you don't like what I'm saying, maybe you should ask him by asking me for his email address. So I'm not just going to give it out there, because I don't need a million people emailing him or harassing him about this. And this is talking about Bartholomew de las Casas! The Christians, with their horses, swords, and lances, began to slaughter and practice strange cruelty among them. These are Spaniards, and most of Spain, Catholic. Columbus, Catholic. They penetrated into the country and spared neither children, nor the aged, nor pregnant women. See how cruel they are? And these are the people who are the followers of the Pope. These are the brethren of Bengali 1 here on YouTube. So, women, children, pregnant women. Oh, it's really hard to read that through the screen probably, but hopefully you can see what it says and actually pause it as it. Oh yeah, look at that last phrase. Oh yeah, look at what it says. Lacerated, as though they were, what would they lacerate? Body. Wow. It goes on for about a few more paragraphs. Not a very pleasing thing. So when you're reading books like these, and you're wondering, how in the world did slavery get from to, who said slavery was okay? Who was a religious authority in the Dark Ages? Well, the Roman Catholic Church. There's no arguing that one. And who gave Columbus the okay to enslave natives? The Pope. The Catholic Church. So, switches from natives to Africans. Well, guess what? They justified it. And here's my notes from class. Religious justifications. Africans, read that saying, no soul from lies. I wrote that comment, it's nice. We are souls. Yep, based off of phenotype because they're black. They said, oh, they don't have no soul. And it's our duty to civilize them. And I'm like thinking, well, you make them slaves. You said they have no soul. Why would they want to listen to you now? Now, black people out there, be afraid of the Catholic Church. They turned you into slaves. They said your ancestors were not civilized. Basically saying they weren't human, that their society was worthless and pointless. It was a different culture, a different society. You can't just judge them based on what they're like. So if the women are topless, no one is going to be like, oh, they're uncivilized. It's funny, though. So, you can read a lot of interesting narratives from this book. Oh, one of them I read, about the first 98 pages read. One of them, a guy had a girlfriend his master did not like. He ended up cutting her head off. Disemboweled her, made him take care of the body. Pretty nasty. And all because they said, they have no soul. We can get slaves in there. And they didn't do anything to stop antebellum slavery. And they also didn't do anything to stop transatlantic slavery. This whole going from Africa to the New World, they didn't stop it. They made money off of it. For example, have you ever watched Lost this current season? Remember Richard Alpert? How he got to the island in that slave ship from Spanish people? Because Spanish people are predominantly Catholic, and they're the same ones who lacerated those people's bodies. Yeah, just imagine. You know what a laceration looks like? You know, you take your skin, you kind of tear it apart, and you have like big old blood pouring out. It's kind of gross, isn't it? Now, just imagine that. He was in prison because he was struggling with a doctor, wanted medicine for his wife, and he refused. And he wanted, pay me this, I'm not going to give you it. He wanted to save his wife's life. Well, they got into a little fight, and he accidentally, like, pushed him back against something, some kind of accident where he ended up dead, the doctor. And he got in trouble, he was put in prison. Well, they were going to hang him, but there was a priest, a Catholic priest, came in there, and basically sold him and said he's going to hell, basically saying that there is no forgiveness of sins for him at all, even though the man is about as repentant as you could probably think of. And yet, that shows that they're for slavery. Slavery! You can read it. You can read it. My notes. Talk to Mr. Jason Perkins. He no longer works at the college I'm at, but he was a pretty nice guy. And he was black. This is Spoke 777. I might as well call this video Catholic Church Loves Slavery. They make tons of money. In fact, interesting thing that Wikipedia is a little bit self-contradictory in their article about the subject, but they said that their position on it didn't really change until later on when they were pressured into it. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Slavery started by the Roman Catholic Church. They justified it. The world's, oh, okay, well, because we can do it. They didn't try to stop it. They didn't try to excommunicate anybody for it. And to say that, oh, you know, they sent out bulls and threatened excommunication, they just didn't listen to them. That's nonsense. That actually brought entire nations to their knees and summoned entire armies to go on crusades against people. So you can know for a fact that the Catholic Church is the reason why racism exists today. It's the reason why white and black people don't get along. Because of slavery's history. Because they said, Africans have no soul, with their lies about the immortality of the soul, like as if they aren't a person. They also said they're not civilized, insulting the Africans' way of life and everything. And this is Spoke 777 here on YouTube, and I hope you've enjoyed this video here on YouTube. And has been an eye-opener for you. If you're Catholic, study what I had to say, and read books like Fox's Book of Martyrs, and consider leaving an institution that has its history soaked in bloodshed just because you believe differently than them. Just like the Daleks. We will destroy anyone and everyone that is not a Catholic. That is the truth behind the Roman Catholic Church. This is Spoke 777, and good night.